Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Writer's Chat. Sorry, trying to multitask here. We are so glad you're here with us, whether, excuse me, you're here in person or watching the replay. We're just so glad that you're here. And I'm Norma Poor, by the way, and I'm joined by my co-host, Brandy Bro. And today we have a special guest, Kathy, and she's going to help us learn about some more tools in regards to self-publishing. So I'm going to turn it over to Brandy and let her introduce our very special guest.
Yep.
Brandy?
Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Kathy Brasby is with us today. She has a hands-on look at Vellum and Atticus, which we have had a lot of requests for. So about Kathy. Kathy Brasby is a former journalist who focuses on storytelling in both fiction and nonfiction pieces. Her award-winning writing includes 5 published books, and she's currently working on a YA sci-fi post-apocalyptic novel. She holds a bachelor's in English and a master's in theological studies. Her website is kathybrasby.net. That is KATHYBRASBY.net. And I am so thrilled to have you here with us, Kathy, because we've really been wanting to hear about Vellum and Atticus and really excited about this inside look at these programs and how they function. So please take it away, Kathy.
Right. Thank you so much. I hope that we can make some progress. Both of these programs have, they're simple to use, and yet they have a great deal of flexibility. And so we won't get through all of it, but we can at least get started on this. Let's see. I'm going to start with, where did you go? Give you a, yeah, we practiced this, and now where did it, there it is. Okay, here we go.
Zoom always likes to hide things.
Yeah, here we go. So just a quick look, hands-on look at Vellum and Atticus. We have amazing opportunities if you are an indie author and publisher of software and tools that we didn't even have 5 or 6 years ago. It's just amazing what's available to us right now that we can do this ourselves. I'm going to compare the old way. Actually, the very first book that I published was, oh my, maybe 15 years ago. I did it in Word, uploaded it to Lulu, I think, and got it printed. And let me tell you, Word is hours of formatting. Yes, you can do it, but it is difficult, and it is very difficult if you have ebook capabilities or ebook that you want to produce. But again, the old way is you could learn Adobe InDesign, which is still available, by the way. It's a professional tool. It is very difficult to learn, and you're going to pay $23 a month for that. A beautiful format. And in the old days, you just hired somebody to do that for you generally. And actually, that is the third option in the old days was hire. Really just totally, I did. It's gone, isn't it? Let me go back. We'll do it again. There we go.
There we are.
There we are. I was trying to close down the chat window, and I closed my PowerPoint. Anyway, you can still hire a formatter. That'll probably cost you 150, $500 a book. And they'll take a little longer, 1 to 2 weeks. And it's a little, and they may frankly, use Vellum or Atticus today. Maybe a few still use InDesign. But there is another way. And we're going to look some at Vellum and Atticus today. Vellum, I'll do this quickly, is Mac only. It's a desktop op. If you want both the ebook and print, you will have one-time cost of $250. If you're only ever going to do ebook, $200. It has incredible, and we'll see this, templates. You can learn it fast. You could, well, you'll see how fast it is and how quickly we could produce a book ready to upload wherever you want to get it published. Atticus is browser-based, which allows it to work on any operating system. It loads Chrome, works through Chrome. So it works on a Mac, PC, Linux, Chromebook. $147 one time, and that will include ebook and print. Some authors actually say you could write and format. I can see what they mean, but I don't write, wouldn't write in Atticus. But we will take a look more at that in a minute. You
Kathy,
can get, yes.
I'm just curious, does Vellum require internet usage to run, or can you run it offline?
I think it requires internet.
Because
And that,
I'm
go
sure
ahead.
because Atticus is a browser-based, it requires you
Right.
to be online. So I was just wondering if Vellum had an offline option for using it.
Oh, Vellum, it
Yeah.
does not need the internet. You can
Okay.
totally do it offline. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Good to know.
totally loaded onto your computer. Actually, that's probably the biggest reason I moved from Atticus to Vellum is
Hmm.
if I had Chrome problems or internet problems, I couldn't even use Atticus. But anyway, you will get, if you want, a PDF with this information. So I'm not really going to spend much time except to say Vellum allows you to download it and use it as much as you want. You only pay for it if and when you want to export. So you can get the full program to learn how to use it. Atticus lets you use it for risk-free for 30 days. Money back guarantee, but you would have to pay up front for that. So just a little comparison. I'm not trying to sell you on one over the other. So, all right, let's get rid of this. And okay. Let's go ahead and open up Vellum. I'll talk. This is, you can't see it yet. I keep forgetting this. Share. Sorry, you guys. Why is that one not showing? Now it figures. It worked when we did it before. All right, I'm going to move this. Forgive me a second. See if that helps.
Well, while you're doing that, I like the idea of comparing that. I love that with Vellum, you get a chance to use it and learn the
Yeah,
program before you actually have to put money out. Um, Free to try. I don't know if it's free to try, but I think the Atticus, trial base is always excellent to have, and it's good. There's a money back guarantee, but I see a lot of goodness in comparing the two.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I think they're both good companies. One thing that I'll say, Vellum, that's all they do. Whereas I think it's Kindlepreneur that does Atticus, and they do other things too. So sometimes Atticus just continue as is while they're working on other projects. Where Vellum, that's all they do is this formatting. So you can see Vellum now, right? On my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's see, some things that I want to say about it is that you will always bring in a Word document into both Vellum or Atticus. It's the same for both of them. And so you want to do a tiny bit of formatting in Word, and I mean tiny bit. For example, use the styles area. So put in an H1, H2 headings, those kinds of things. If you're going to boldface or italicize something, you can do that in Word. That will save you time when you move it into your formatting software. But don't worry about fonts. Don't worry about margins, spacing, indents. Don't worry about those. Don't spend any time about those. Just put in, if you've got a hard page break, those kinds of things are what you want to do in Word and get ready to bring it in. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. This would be your opening screen that you see. Can you see my mouse, my cursor okay?
Yep.
As I'm pointing? Okay, good.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to go down here and we're going to import a word. And we're just going to bring in Buzzy the Bee. The whole story behind it. And did we lose it again?
Yep.
Good grief. Good grief. This is Zoom's problem this time. This is not. There we go. Okay.
Here we are.
Here we go. Okay. And so this is the screen that you're actually going to be doing your work in right here. And the left column gives you the overview. So I just brought in Buzzy the Bee. This is my grandson's book that he wrote. And so we go here, click on my book, put in the title, Buzzy the Bee. And I'll put his name in here. And if there were contributors, subtitles, series name, et cetera, you could add that in. If you've got an ebook ISBN number, you put that here. We're going to actually put his cover on here too. There for the ebook. So now go to the left column on this side, and this starts to show us what's in the book. So we go to chapter 1. We can do a lot of editing in this middle window section if we needed to, or if you saw a typo, you can fix it. Kind of thing. You have some very basic word processing tools across it. You could boldface it. And always in this program, keep your eyes open for these drop-down kind of carrots because there's more surprises. You could, for example, do this and make it all small. Lots of ways. Okay, so chapter 2, same kind of thing. And let's go up to show you what else now. Oh, you may not be able to see. We can add elements. I can put in, for example, a copyright page. And that will give me a suggested copyright. You can change all of it, that sort of thing. I can put in this, what I'm doing, and I don't think this shows on your screen. Up at the top, there is another menu that you can see at the very top of the screen that has more opportunities. So we could bring in more elements. So let's put in, oh, I don't know, dedication. I can bring in, what else here? Oh, let's put about the author. And then Vellum knows you probably want this at the end. Now you'll notice that you can add all kinds of social media. He's only 8, so he doesn't have any of that stuff. You could easily add another here if you wanted to, or there's just a lot of things. Multiple. Let's put one more in there. I'll put a prologue in. I'll say, I don't want the prologue. I want the prologue clear up here. All I did is I want to show you how easy it is to rearrange. Maybe I want the chapter 1 there. Maybe I want to name it chapter 1, Buzzy 1. You have a huge amount of flexibility with this. Here again, always look for gears, which gives you more options, and drop down. This particular one is numbered. Just remember that. We'll come back to that in a minute. The right side, if you'll notice, gives you a preview. Right now, we're previewing it in Kindle Fire. I can go to this little gizmo and I can say, what's it look like in an iPad? Okay. Look like in Clara, I've never even heard of before. I can say, what's it look like in print? Right now it's saying it's set up to do 6:9, but we can change that to all things as well. So we can go back, forwarded chapter, etc. Or we can use this to navigate through. So this is the preview side. We'll come back to this in just a minute. Let's go back over to the left side again. And I want to show you style. And keep a little bit of an eye over on the right-hand preview as I go through these styles, because these are all the different ways. For example, we could do that. Notice this one gave us a nice drop cap, I guess I had already done the all caps on that. Change the font for the chapter, and I don't really care for that. So I'm going to go back to content, and I am going to chapter 1. I don't want it numbered.
Okay, so me being the hack, I like to know if you can customize a style that you like and add it to their style list.
I am so glad you asked that. Absolutely. Again, you've got things you can do here or the drop down. I think those no, configure. And I guess it comes out the same either way. You can change the heading. It's giving you 3 ideas in this particular style. Or you can come down here and say, no, I want the heading small and I want but I took the numbers off, so that won't show. Change the text size on that heading, for
There's going to be
example.
a lot of versatility. I like that.
Same thing, first paragraph. It'll give me, and see, I capitalized this first line, maybe I shouldn't have, all caps in the content area. So I don't think it's going to change that here, but I could go back and take that off. But you can, you see, it's giving me different, oops,
Okay.
there we go. This one, see, there's just a serif. There's another smaller one, kind of a fancier one. The paragraph after the break. If you want to change this, it can do a lot of different things. And you've got page numbers, etc. So, and you could put your custom header and footer in there. And so I'm going to go back one step, and because it's got an asterisk, it will ask me when I move on if I want to save this. I remember now if it, let me save it here. Well, let's just find out. See, there's another possibility. I think it would have saved this because it's got that. Yes, you can totally, or you can totally change them, or you can actually make your own. You don't have to use any of these. You can totally style it the way you want. I mean, there's one that, I don't know, maybe that'd be better for, I don't know what, business book or something. No, I'm on all of those. Let's go to copy. Let's need a few more. There's Trifle. I don't really get the names, but Metro Look, and these, and as you saw, they're totally flexible. You can change any part of it that you want, or you can just accept whatever they're suggesting. Vellum now offers this kind of thing. You can actually upload a black and white picture, and it can put it on a chapter or several chapters. This is a new thing that they've just added, and I haven't messed with it, so I can't explain it very well.
That's
But
a
I know
nice
I've
look.
seen it.
It makes
Yeah.
me wonder if it costs a little bit more to publish a book like that if it's printed, but it's really nice.
If it's black and white, I don't think it would.
I don't know.
You'd have to check on that. But I have gotten some books that I bought on like Kickstarter, and I know that's what they did, and it's really in the right places, attractive look. I mean, you know, sometimes they have line drawings up here or something. So that's something I think fairly new with Vellum. Vellum can also offer page edges. You can upload like a geometric page edge. So they have, that's what I say, this is all they do. So they offer a few more of those kinds of things. How am I doing on my time? Okay, are there any questions before I move on to we haven't generated our copy yet, but any questions? Go ahead.
There was a question, and it was more about fees. Is the fee for each book or a one-time fee, regardless of the number of books you publish? And I think that pretty much is just a one-time and publish however many books you want, right?
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. It's a one-time, which I do like. I'm not crazy about subscriptions. Sometimes we don't have a choice. But,
we also had another question by Stephanie. Can you? She uses Google Docs, and is that compatible with Vellum?
Yep.
I don't think as is. It needs to be a Word doc, but I think you could take a Google Doc and save it from Google Drive into a Word. I don't work that much with Google Drive, so somebody help me with that. But it would need to be in a docx file to come into both of these programs. But I don't think that's impossible to just save your text from Google into a Word docx on your hard drive or something. Yes. Anybody else know?
Stephanie says it changes the formatting just a bit when moved to Word, but you can do it, it looks like.
Okay. And I don't think most of that formatting would be any big deal because most of your formatting is going to happen in your formatted program anyway.
Do you
I don't
happen to
think
know
that
if
would be a
the
big deal.
shadowing on the pages can be adjusted to change the darkness or the lightness?
I don't know. Let's go back and see if we have a meridian again and just see what we can do because I don't know. But I am not afraid to experiment and see. Okay.
Maybe background and border?
Maybe that's makes sense, wouldn't it? Full blade. Okay. Yeah, it looks like
Yep. Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah, they have
pretty.
choices. Oh, that's
Yeah,
they
cool.
have
look at that.
choices too. And I'm almost positive you could also upload your own image if it worked. I mean, you need to be
Yep.
a little careful,
Yep.
but they have some possibilities for you. And
Can you adjust the gradient? In other words, the lightness or darkness of whatever you choose?
I don't know.
Well, it
Let's-
might be possible with Create Custom.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it may be, let's see, page behind every page. It's not here, I don't think. I don't know. I haven't really played with that very much. That would be something to play with
But the great
and
thing about this
see.
program is that you don't have to pay for it until you export. So you can get in there,
Exactly.
figure it out if it does what you want it to do, and go from there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But again,
Because
this is only for Mac, correct?
right, right. Um, I know some people that have bought a MacBook Air just to run this program. But anyway, yes, it is only for Mac. I don't know if it may be someday available for Windows, but right now it's just for the Mac. Okay, other questions? Okay. Um, let's see. One more thing I'll show you before we actually generate. If you look right here, is how we're going to produce. So let's suppose you've gone through here. You've gone through and say, okay, I need this one is going to be the B. Brothers. Hmm. You've done whatever work you want to do. I want to take off. I mean, you can number it, you cannot, So if you took that off, but it could be on there. And you look at it, say, okay, I'm good. I've got my prologue uploaded. I got to all these things. Prologue's in the wrong place, so we'll move that back there, etc. Move that there. See, we can easily rearrange these pages, easily. And so we will generate our files in just a moment. Actually, it's just as easy to do it there. So, okay, we're going to go to generate. And it makes me save it. I don't have to forget what was I doing here. So now you get a little window. And first thing is generate for, and I'll click right here and I select my platforms. Right now, actually, most of the time I just stay with Kindle generic. They're both EPUBs, but don't feel free to play with these. You could select all you want to. Let's do that. Okay, print. Assuming I want to also get a print file, then I can go to print size settings and choose. Maybe I want to, and it will rearrange things. Or maybe I want to go to a 8.5 by 11 and it will adjust. So you go to whatever size you want. And you can adjust here. Like if you want, this is the most common. First chapter begins on the right side, but if you want every chapter to begin on the right side, you can control that. You can control, this was the most common, that your page numbering starts on the first chapter. So you don't number copyright, dedication, etc. Title page. But if you want to change that, you can. Images. If for some reason you're doing something special and you need your images in color on the inside of the book, is what this will be. You can change that there. Don't mess with bleed. That is advanced. But So you tell it, okay, we want a 6x9. Done. Okay, now we will continue. And so it's reviewing for you. Okay, well, I'm about to generate all ebook platforms, generic and print. And it says, where do you want them? And I'm going to put them in this folder that but you can use this to find your folder. And all right, done. How long it takes. And let me see. I just want to share so you can actually look like. Oops, that was wrong. Zoom does not always make this as easy as they think they do they?
Nope, not always.
Not always. Trust me on this. I'm not going to put in the time. Trust me. It created a subfolder, and then there are subfolders to that. Yeah, this would be worth. And if I can.
So if you want to preview the book that
Right.
you've created, you need to pull it from the file it's saved to.
Right.
Okay.
Because right now I have Buzzy the Bee, which is we just created that subfolder. In the folder, I told it where to put. And then within that, I've got subfolders. One that says Apple Books. And if I open that up, it has not only the EPUB file, but the JPEG for the cover. Same thing with all the other EPUB formats. I've got Google Play and Kindle and Kobo, Nook. All of them, they look identical to each other. I just put them all in there. And then the print, it doesn't put the cover on, obviously, because that's a different process for the cover. But then it is in a PDF, ready to upload to whoever your printer is. So that's how long it takes to do that. So that was pretty fast. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment and bring up. Okay, now this is what it looks like when you open Atticus. And it shows, I forgot to point out also, Vellum is similar in that it will show your recent work. And it did show projects that I ever am working on. But if you'll look here, you'll see upload a book. This one actually, and I've never used it, so I'm not going to talk about it today, but you can create a new box set. So I have recent works, and suppose all of these recent works were all part of a series. I believe I could create a box set using those projects, but I haven't ever done it, so I don't know how to do it. Okay, so we will upload a book, Buzzy Bee. And here we actually put in Buzzy the Bee. We always have to put in the title. If it's part of a project, you can put it there, but you don't have to. Okay, here we go. And now this also, it brings up this screen now, which if there's anything more that we want to add, version, start page, if it's different than the normal, you can control that here. It's going to be in English, so I don't think you can use that for translation. I'm not sure. Anyway, you can put in publisher details. There's a second tab up here. If you want to put in your publisher name, if you have a link, ISBN numbers for both print and the ebook. So now we will go back homepage. And now there's Buzzy the Bee. Oh, I forgot to upload the cover for Buzzy. Let's get. Yeah, I forget. There we go. Because we got to have Buzzy. There. And now we go to this. Similar appearance, you'll notice, to Vellum, in that on the left side tells you what's in the book. so far. Middle is where you can write the book. And this is where occasionally people suggest you could actually write here. It has maybe a little bit more in terms of, yeah, like your headings than what Vellum offers, because Vellum is not really designed to write in, but this you could if you wanted to. Here again, there's your alignment, for example, scene breaks, page breaks, etc. You can add images. We can add an image into Atticus at the beginning. Let me see. Where did Buzzy go? I'll do it this way. Okay, so you could, if you wanted to, put a little image at the beginning. Keeps it small. And then you just go through and in Atticus, you can add a chapter down at the bottom, add a new chapter. And this, especially if you wanted to write, this is where, and you're going to have change, etc. Also, down at the bottom, the 3 stacked dots, which are always important when you see that in software. Always see, what are those about? In this case, it has similar what we had. Like here's a copyright. It does not do much for pre-filling. You'd need to fill it out. So I'd need to come up here and put 6. Not a big deal. And then I have several presets. Here we go. Do blurbs. Oh, I should have told you. Blurbs in Vellum, it's just humorous because they have pre-written blurbs for you that of course you'll overwrite, but they offer you some things. This one, they just describe what a blurb is. And so we could add that. We could add a dedication page in if you want to, and it tells you about it. You could have all this and say, to my family, if you wanted to. This about the author, because we had that. And this is where you would load in your bio, whatever you want to put there. We want to move the dedication up, and it's as easy here as it is in Vellum. We'll put blurbs up here. Maybe we'll put blurbs there. We can move them around. We have table of contents that you can include or not include. Could include subtitles, subheadings, which Buzzy didn't get. You've got a gear here, which lets you hide some things. We could hide that chapter image. So it gives us more flexibility there. Any other questions so far? I feel like I've already told you this in Vellum, and it's very similar to some of this stuff that we can do here. I'm not sure we have quite as much, I don't know. Let's look and see. No, we can. Okay, so that's where we could put small caps there, for example, if we wanted to take it up.
So theoretically, you could create your entire project in Atticus.
Theoretically, you could. Yes. Yeah. I've heard of authors, I don't know. Most of the time when I hear that, most authors say, yeah, but theoretically you could. Yes, you could do the whole thing here.
Can Atticus do book covers? And I guess the same question for Vellum. Can they both do formatting of book covers?
No. That's kind of a different process. On the best Atticus can connect you to, which one is it? Not Canva, it's one of the book somethings. But you're going to have to create it yourself or hire somebody to do the cover in some way. But they just use what's been created somewhere else.
And then for the fee for Atticus, that's a one-time fee.
It's a one-time.
For however many books you want to do, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
But that one's paid up front, not when you export.
Right. You got 30 days to change your mind.
All right. So do they actually require you pay before the 30 days? Or do you get 30 days before you pay?
No, I'm pretty sure you pay.
Okay,
And then if you don't want it, you ask for that back.
got it.
I think they're a good company, so I think they would do that. But yeah, you'd have to pay up front and then get it back.
So,
Mm,
if you want to try out Atticus, make sure you have book in hand to start working with it right away because you only have 30 days to get that money back.
right.
Gotcha.
Well said. Yes, exactly. Mm, I should look at my notes, see what I for. mm, Yeah, both Vellum and Atticus work with word styles. If you understand how word styles, those will transfer into both Vellum and Atticus. They can recognize H1, H2 headings, for example.
So they really help to create the navigation and set the different parts of your book apart from one another, right?
Right, right, right. And they can recognize, yeah, page breaks, just the big picture stuff. If you say, "Oh, I'm going to make my margins 2.5 inches," don't worry about the margins. They will ignore that anyway. Those kinds of things. Yeah. So, but the big picture stuff, like I said, the heading one, heading two are very helpful. That's how they're actually, both programs are pulling up what the chapters are. And they don't have to be chapter one, chapter two, but if it's an H1 heading, both programs recognize that instantly.
So say
Mm.
you don't know how to use styles. Are you able to
Mhm.
create those divisions within each of these programs?
It's a great question. Let me just look. I think, let's say I didn't bring it. Let's see if,
Because without styles, we'd be bringing in one giant chunk of text.
right.
And so that
That
would
would
need to be
be
broken up.
would be need to broken up. And you could, I think, let's see if we can put an H1 somewhere in the middle of this. Yeah, we can do that at least. I don't know what that does to contents. I'm going to show it as a subtitle. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't even do that. Go back, let it refresh. Look at table of contents. No, it doesn't even show it. So you really need to learn about style.
Yeah, styles are really important when it comes to anything having to do with starting to format.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. And they're not that terribly difficult.
Yeah, that's true. They just
They're
seem
not.
foreign at first.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But they're not hard, and I'm sure there's plenty of tutorials. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like some
So
publishers want you to use styles to indent your paragraphs rather than an automatic tab, as an
right,
example.
yeah, yeah. I don't see a heading one, so I don't see. Let's see what if I just it doesn't bring up a heading one. No, it doesn't look like I have access to a heading one, which is where it's going to be. So you at least need to be able to do that. Figure out heading one for your chapter breaks to do your own formatting. Like I said, if you're going to do your own formatting, that's a simple thing to learn. It won't take you, I don't know, Brandy, what do you think? 15 minutes on YouTube and you'd have it?
And yeah, it's partly that and partly fiddling around with it to get the idea of how they are,
Yeah.
to learn the basics and then customizing them a little bit basic. I mean, my word program got really dumb and just gave me this really weird font as the normal. I'm like, what are you doing? Where so I kind of had to figure out how to work my styles.
Oh, yeah. 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 It can be a little dorky sometimes, but the basics, you don't have to worry about font when you bring it into either Vellum or Atticus because you can choose the fonts within this software, formatting software.
Yep.
So
So
it's
there's one.
probably mostly, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please finish.
No, I was just going to say probably the one thing is learn how to make your chapter breaks heading one.
Hmm.
If you can do that, you've got the real basics down. Okay, what were you going to ask?
Somebody was wondering, just to clarify, are these programs what you would use before you upload to KDP, or are they if you're going to completely into publish yourself?
I think these, you could easily upload these into KDP. I mean, it's an EPUB and a PDF, which is what KDP wants.
Hmm.
So yeah, you could easily use those same files across in several. I mean, you could do KDP, you could do Sparks Ingram, you could do Lulu. Who uses Lulu anymore? Somebody does. I know somebody does. Draft to digital. I mean, anybody that needs those formats, you have that file created and you can put it wherever you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And somebody else is just wanting to know for both these tools, you need to have your own ISBNs purchased before submitting for publication, right? This is, or can the ISBN be purchased when formatting? Is that kind of a separate process?
Oh, it's a little bit of a separate. I mean, if you, boy, that's a good question. I don't remember if, because you can let, for sure, I know KDP, Amazon, that whole world, they can provide you with a SBN number. So it made me think it doesn't absolutely have to be part of the formatting
All
process.
right. So if
I'm
you
not
get your own
100% sure.
ISBN, it's more if you want to go a little bit more wide than just Amazon
Right,
KDP. Amazon KDP will provide an ISBN according
right,
to Stephanie in the chat.
right. Yeah,
But
they
then
will.
with this program, does it give you the opportunity to put in the ISBN, or is that more when you upload it to your chosen publication
No,
site?
you can put in, let's go back to edit book details just in Atticus. It will look different in Vellum, but they both do it. And it's okay, publisher details on this one. You could right here, you see where it's print.
Oh,
And so
yep.
if you have the ISBN numbers, you just put them right in here and it will include those. And if you don't and need to do it later, I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's so fast to generate these that let's say you didn't put them in, you generated your files, and then 2 weeks later you say, oh wait, I changed my mind, I do want them in there. Just go back to here, open it back up again, go to your book details, put it in and regenerate it, and it might be a 5-minute process. You're not locked in. Oh, details. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, let's go busy again. Um, Again, both of the programs you can easily put in images, even in the text, as long as they're well, technically you can do color. Oh, let's do it different. We're going to put this in the text. This could have a lot of usages, not just kids' books, but you have some control here. Wrap the text. I'm going to center this thing, make it smaller. And I forgot to mention that in Vellum, both of them offer you can easily add a link to your website, internal links, links to reader magnets. All those are just super, super easy to do. That's all available and easy to do. Okay, we'll upload this. There we go. We just put that in there.
Nice.
If you ever wanted something like that, as long as it's black and white, it's no big deal to get it printed within Onion. So, okay, what else do I want to tell you? Any other questions before I go to the next step?
Well, we had a comment that there was the understanding that these programs were for other than KDP, but it's great to know that they can be used to upload with either of these programs for KDP.
Yeah, yeah, because you're just producing the files you're producing the files that KDP and everybody else wants,
Mhm.
PDFs and EPUBs.
So what
Yeah,
do you
you
see
can.
as the biggest pros and cons for each program?
Um, I have both. I have used both to produce a book. I think Atticus probably does. I don't know if they do. They're cheaper. That's probably the biggest thing. They're a little bit cheaper and they do almost as much. I switched to Vellum because I started to have problems because you're dependent on the internet and on Chrome. It's the only way that Atticus works. You can't put it in any other browser.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
I don't know why. That's a little. Yeah, it was a
That's
little
kind of a
annoying to
big
me.
thing.
Yeah, I am not a big Chrome fan, and I started having problems every time I would open it. Oh, it wouldn't load this time. And I think it was more Chrome than Atticus, but they're just married, so it doesn't really matter. So I moved to Vellum, which is incredibly easy. I've never had any of those kind of issues. And they do produce beautiful, beautiful books. And that's all they do. And both companies, I think, are very consumer, customer oriented. So, but what little I've had to do with Vellum, they've been wonderful to work with. And I like I can do more with Vellum. Atticus is a little more limited, not hugely. I mean, you can do a huge amount. In fact, we haven't even gotten to, I forgot to do that on this. We need to take a look at the formatting. Where is that? I get so busy going another way. All right, there's the preview. Where's my formatting? Formatting, right there. And you have a lot of themes here. See, that's kind of a cool one. Kind of a cool, but this as much as Atticus can do on that kind of stuff, as opposed to what Vellum.
Are you
So
familiar if you can upload your own image to make that kind of appearance as well, or in this program like you can in Vellum?
that's a good question. I believe so, but I'm not 100%. Take a look. I'm not sure that you can.
And
Let's
does
see, let's
this one
go to.
allow you to make a custom theme as well?
Yes, this one does. Here again, you pick whatever you want, and then it's got the three stacked dots. Go to that, edit as a new theme, and then it gives you a huge amount of flexibility here.
Very
You
nice.
can change there's a title, and you can change your font. You can change the alignment. I want it bold, and
I see a chapter image down there.
yeah. Upload an image. So you're right. So we can do that. Let's just upload Buzzy again. What happens? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can do that. And it looks like, of course, Buzzy is self-contained, but it looks like you could. Oh, okay. It's just talking
You
about
can change
above or
placement.
below.
Yep.
Or make it
Cool.
huge. You can make it pretty big. So you could do that.
Well, there's a lot of nice little things you can do.
Yeah. You can reduce the opacity if you want something that's more, those kinds of things. It'll do a full bleed. It'll be a big deal here. So yes. Oh, I just took care of the chapter. There we go. Get that back. Let's put that up there. I play a lot with these, so but yes, you have quite a bit, and then you go down your paragraphs. If you want to drop caps, you can change your font. You see the T, I just changed it. Let's change it and change it. And you could let's see. Following a break. Okay, so I don't really have a break there. But you could change your spacing for your paragraphs. But yeah, you have a lot of I don't think this one has a scene break in it. Footnotes, endnotes, that kind of thing. And you can go here and change a lot of things as far as the print layout. And then if you up at the top, you get done playing, you can discard it, which I think I will, but you could also save it as a new theme. So you have a lot of themes with this one as well, and they can all be adjusted. Or if you just say, hey, this is good for me, this is good enough. I don't need fancy here. Preview on the right side again. That's what iPad. Let's see. Let's go down to a Kindle. You buy the Kindle. There's a. It lets you get you an idea of what it will look like within that particular device with different fonts. Although I believe a user can change the fonts, they can change all that within their own device. So you're just getting a rough idea of what it could look like. Oh, there's Clara again. We have more Kobo devices on. And then you go to print and get an idea what it looked like. And myself yet. Where do I change the? When I found it, I said, "Oh, duh!" And not these. It's not up there. Print. I don't think it's there. That's not it. I think it's in the theme. I'll edit that puppy. Print layout. Nope. Did this to myself yesterday, and I said, I will remember that now. But you can change. You have all the options that Vellum gave as far as, but I think this is probably still a 6x9, but you can go up to 8.5 by 11. Oops, not there.
Both of these programs look promising for people.
Yes, they give you a huge amount of flexibility, but if you don't want that flexibility, you can just use what they've provided and have some beautifully formatted books. If you just take like this one, this could be a nice, I don't know, romance book, women's fiction type book. And you don't have to do anything. You can say, that really works for me. I like that. I like the fonts. I like all of it. And okay. And you can page through it. So we will export the PDF, and it says this goes to my downloads folder, which apparently I can't show these to you. Okay. And then it will export, and it just gives you one EPUB. It doesn't give me all of the EPUB options that Vellum does, and I'm not sure if they're necessary. It seems like an EPUB is an EPUB. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. I can show you other things. A couple of more things I want to say. If you're considering purchasing one of these, you should be sure that you are committed to producing more than one book. Because if you're just going to want to do one book, just hire somebody that uses one of these and help them out a little bit, and they can produce something for you pretty fast, pretty inexpensively too, I would think. This implies that you're going to do more than one to justify the cost of it.
Good point.
Yeah. So let's see. I did want to say a couple of things. Let's see. I guess anything else you want to see in Atticus before I close this window?
Let's see. What do you think, Norma? Anybody else in the chat? Anything else you want to see that you haven't seen yet? We'll bring people back on soon to
Yeah, sure.
ask
And I can
questions.
bring these back up if we need to, but I know I sometimes go through some of this stuff really fast. So if you need to see it again, let me know.
We have one question. So, how much do you charge?
Talk to me off screen. We can talk. I did create a very small publishing company when I did my last book 4 years ago. I just wanted a publishing company, and I have published 3 or 4 books for other people, a couple of nonprofits. I'm working on 2 workbooks right now for nonprofits. So I can do a little bit, and it doesn't take a huge amount of time, and it helps pay for the software. So
Yep.
So I'm open to doing a little bit of it, but I'm not looking to start a business or anything. But if somebody's interested, yeah, get a hold of me and we'll talk.
So both
Anything
of these
else?
can produce color images as well?
Oh, I know Vellum can because we saw that.
Yep.
I'm not sure that Atticus can. Now that you
Okay.
say that, let me see. Let's bring up this image. If I bring up the cover, let's see because it's in color. See what it does with it. Technically, it looks like it can. Where did I put it? There we go. Technically, it looks like it can. It can put color within there if that's something somebody wants to, because the printing is obviously going to be quite a bit more, but sometimes that's what you do.
Yep. Yeah, that's always the thing. If you want to put in a color image, be aware that the cost of printing, if you actually print instead of just have a digital, will be more expensive.
I did talk to Book Vault at the conference in January. They charge color pages by the page, interior. So it's pretty expensive for that one page, but a lot of the KDP, Spark Skin Girl, most of those, if you put one color image inside, it's like you've broken the wall, and you might as well have color on every page because they charge the same amount. But Book Vault charges, if you have color on one page, they charge you for one color page, and the rest of them are just standard. So keep in mind if it's something you're working on, and you need one color image, but it is a bit more expensive. One more quick thing I want to show you in Atticus, just because I went back to the writing. And down at the very bottom, you can export this in DocX because you wrote, if you're going to write in it. There's a timer down there, so it's offers a little bit more in terms of writing, and it'll tell you the number of words. Vellum doesn't do that because that's not what its point is. So, okay. I will stop sharing. I can bring this back up if we need it. Okay. And I just wanted to say really quickly, I didn't even talk about Scrivener. I write in Scrivener, and I'm going to continue to write in Scrivener. Technically, you can format in Scrivener. I've played with it a little bit. It's not as bad as Word, but it's not easy. Scrivener can be a little bit of a challenge. So I don't really
It's almost its own
recommend.
learning curve besides
Yeah.
just learning to write in the rest of the program.
Yes. It is. It is. It offers you all this compiling stuff, and I've played with it. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I
But
could
you
spend
can,
more time."
worst case scenario, you can compile it to a Word document and then take it from there into some of the other programs.
Perfect. And I do. That's exactly what I do. Yeah, compile it into that. So
So do we want to
okay.
invite everybody else back in case there's a couple of
Yeah,
questions?
if I can answer questions.
Anybody who would like to come on screen, please come. And if we happen to have put somebody off and would like to come on, let us know so we can start your video.
Kathy,
Yes.
if I sent
Hey,
you a
Stephanie,
file, yes,
go
sorry, I
ahead.
should raise my hand. If I sent you a file, a PDF file, you just put it into your program, into that, and it formats it, and then you send it back. Is that how that works?
If you sent me a PDF, I would need to reformat it into a docx, put it in there, and then give you a PDF back.
I
And if the
see.
only way you have it is a PDF, I know how to change formats. It's easier if I don't have to. That can be slightly clunky,
Right.
but it can be done. If that's the only format you've got, we can save that
I didn't
into
know
a
if that was
docx.
easier or if
No, it's
docx.
actually a little bit harder. The docx
Okay.
is by far the easiest.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then does it take a while for it to process it, or is it pretty much?
To which step?
If I sent you a file and you uploaded it to Atticus to do its chapter formatting and such, and then you send it back.
If I didn't have to do anything, I mean, if I didn't have to, I always do a quick scroll through and make sure there's not something really goofy. Load it in there, hit the generate button. It could easily, assuming I have time, it's more my schedule. It's not Atticus. Atticus can do it and can actually do the generating in a minute.
Really?
Yeah. Which is why I really like it. So yeah, if I were to do one, I would definitely scroll through it just to double check, make sure there wasn't anything really goofy. But yeah, when it's ready to go, boom.
Wow.
So about how long do you think it takes to, if you're really familiar with these programs, to go through and format your book? Average time frame, you think?
Now, if you're talking about you, the author, and you're going to put your book in,
Mhm.
if you're going to want to go through, double check, make sure you've got your headings right. If you want, although if you've got your headings right, I haven't seen any need for a hard page break, so you don't have to put that in there. Make sure you got any boldface, italics, those kind of interior formatting. You could go from, okay, I want to go format it in Word in an hour. You could do it all. If you didn't have a major problem, you could have your file ready to upload in an hour.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
and
why
that
aren't
gives
you
you some
doing more of
time.
this as a side business?
You can't believe all the side businesses I have going. And I'm writing my own book. And I live on a little hobby farm. So we just had 6 baby goats born in the last 2 days. Where's
And
Melissa to tell her
you have
this?
grandchildren.
And I have grandchildren that just drop in on me.
I made it in, Kathy, the very last bit.
Oh, man. Well, you'll have to watch the replay because I'm not going to do the whole thing. Well, I would do it all for you again if you needed help. I'll just tell
Well,
you.
it's okay. I'll watch the replay.
And then get a hold of me if you need to.
All right. Well, hey, Melissa, I'll be so kind. I will not ask you to talk about next week.
Norm might probably be better for that anyway.
Yeah, we're at the top of the hour. So everybody here, we'd like you to stay around for the after party. But especially if you have any other questions, you want to talk to Kathy a little bit more, if Kathy, you're able to stay.
I can.
Next week, Norma, did you want to talk about next week? Do you want me to talk about next week? Whatever you want.
Glad to. I can stop from coughing. Next week is the week before Easter, so we're going to talk about the power of Christ in your writing. So think about that this week. I may or may not post some questions. I probably will in the chat to give you guys some time to think about it. I will send it to the admin though, for sure. But just to just ponder about the power. The premise is the power that God used to resurrect Christ from the dead is in us today. And how does that impact our writing for him? So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. Hope you can come and join us. We're here every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time now. Go around the clock, the globe to find your time. And we sure hope you'll be here live with us next week as we talk about the power of Christ in your writing. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.